Yeah, we'll pick this up.
Imagine we came back and it was the page.
Stuff like
Alright,
that.
we'll be right back.
Alright,
Stay
we're
at
getting
Spain.
started.
Push.
Shouldn't be too bad of a lesson. Make sure you have Desmos though, you are going to need Desmos. So make sure you got Desmos going on your Chromebook.
We'll be back.
Alright, so
So why I say that?
So, what?
alright, so we're gonna be looking at similarity in right triangles today.
Nice. That's nice.
So if I have a right triangle here, and the altitude of a right triangle divides a big triangle into two small triangles. Remember altitude, gotta think back a couple chapters. This green line right here is an altitude.
Slash below.
So in this right triangle right here, that's divided by the altitude, we have three triangles. I got the big one, I got this little one here on the left, and I got the middle one here on the right. All three of those triangles are similar to each other. So ABC is similar to ACD. The big one is similar to the little one. The big one is similar to the middle one. ABC is similar to CBD, the middle one right here. And the little one is similar to the middle. I'm going to kind of refer to these as big, little, and middle for a lot of this today. Just because it's easier for me to visualize how big something is than it is to say the points. So ABC is similar to ACD. ABC is similar to CBD. And ACB is similar to CBD.
Cool.
Not super tough for this first part. So we're just going to practice a couple of these, and then you guys are going to tell me what's similar. I think. I remember, right? I'll let you finish writing it down, though. Remember, if I go too quick, let me know. Make sure you guys are off your Chromebooks, and on YouTubes. Get you a notes paper on it.
I don't have enough. No. No. Oh, I might as well buy both. I'm fun cookie.
I
Yeah, you buy
can need to
both.
be
I
on
don't even
YouTube
care.
because my Chromebook went black, so I didn't turn it off. I have to start my video over.
That's what I was
Alright.
looking for. Thank you.
Oh.
Mr.
No.
Gold.
Oh, no, I'm not. You're good.
Alright.
So if I'm going to look at this triangle right here, what similarity statements can you write relating the three triangles in the diagram? Well, I got a big one, right? It's going to be similar to the middle one, which is going to be similar to the little one. So we can actually, instead of
Wait,
doing
is the
three,
little one going to be similar to the big one?
all three of them are similar. Because as long as I have an altitude right here, all three of them are going to be similar. So we're going to write a similarity statement, and on this last slide, we wrote three of them. We're actually going to put in one. We're going to be lazy. So I'm going to say the big one is going to be similar to the middle one, which is going to be similar to the small one. And I'm going to replace these with my actual letters here. So my big triangle is triangle OYZX. The order doesn't matter, but I'm going to go YZX. Oh, and I forgot triangle YZX, right?
No.
Is going to be similar, do my squiggly line right there means similar, to triangle WZY, which is my middle. WZY is this middle one. Similar to triangle WZY, which is going to be similar to my small one, which is this little guy right here,
XZ.
which is going to be
XZY.
XZY.
XYW, yeah.
Jesus.
Similar to triangle. Turn it off, Ryan.
Oh, fine.
XYW. So instead of writing the three statements, we can combine it into one and do like one big long line here. What? Yeah, be lazy. Answer completely, but be lazy about it. Alright, first things last problem. I want you to write the similarity statement relating all three triangles in this one little box down here.
You're really confusing me on those
On what?
congruent signs. They look like ends.
Oh,
A
sorry.
little bit.
I could do like squiggly.
Yeah, do squiggly.
Okay, I'll go squiggly. I'll fix them, don't you worry.
Yeah, because
Make sure
they...
they're Trista approved.
Okay. Triangle.
Alright, keep, start working on them. box. Alright, ready? Squiggly. Squiggly. Much better.
Because I thought that's what the big, middle, and small, like in between those, that's what I thought they were. I thought that was an N.
They're more.
Big,
Squiggly.
middle,
That's a bad squiggly.
Yeah, it made sense. Big and middle and small. Yeah.
Alright, I got you. I'm gonna grab. I'm gonna try a squiggly.
Oh no, we have someone else in that group. At Brazil.
Yeah, it's a bad squiggly. I'm gonna go for it.
Spain.
Alright, pick somebody random to write this statement. Ryan, what did I just tell you about that dang game?
You're taking
So
forever.
help me.
Help you with what?
We'll
Help
turn
you
you
with
around.
what?
Your life? I
Go
can,
right
I
back
can
to
show you
England.
ways.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good.
That's when I didn't make you finish your sentence twice. Once. Alright, go ahead. Cookie, you got this. It's all on you.
Team, pick
Faith.
somebody random.
Faith.
What do you got numbered?
Faith.
Nobody's at that desk.
Nothing but faith.
Nothing at that desk. Oh. Joseph.
Pick that, 'cause
Oh,
I didn't
so
know how to do this one. I was
Joseph
just
gets, Joseph always gets picked.
Well, he's number 8. It's picked a lot for some reason.
Ready
Alright,
that one?
red statement. Yep.
Dude,
red
you
full
know
statement.
I
One
just
big
sat
one.
there and I literally
What you got
never
down
read
there?
I don't know, I sit here.
Calculator chooses, not me.
Maybe
Play
he
the
just pick
calculator.
some.
How do you
So,
how do
help
you
me.
do it? Oh yeah.
There's a. I'll
He
show you
definitely
later.
does.
He's definitely.
Alright, so
Yeah.
triangle
This one-
PQ
This
R
one, this one again.
is similar. It's got a little squiggly in there.
Squiggly. Say it
Triangle. And the order you put these in doesn't really matter. If you start with small, then you can go big and middle if you want. It doesn't matter.
Does it
So
matter
triangle
which like
PQR
way?
is similar to
It's
triangle
not
PRS.
Oh.
PQR, PRS, which is similar to triangle QPS.
Yeah.
QPS.
I have a question.
Yeah, yeah.
Does it matter what order you put your letters in?
Yes, because remember, we gotta match up the same thing. I think he was good. Because PQR, PQR, PRS, PQR. Actually, I think your letters are a little messed up, but I'll
That's
see.
what I wrote down.
Yeah.
Or no, wait, no,
Okay,
that's not
so
what I did.
if you went P to Q to R, you'd have to go P.
To
No,
S.
you'd have to go. Okay,
R.
starting a little. You'd have to go S.
Stop, Goki, you're
Messing
confusing
me up.
yourself.
Okay, hang on. That's okay.
Hush. You
Squiggly.
hush.
Okay, P to Q to R.
Okay.
So corner would have to be S to P to R, and then it would have to be S to Q to P.
What? Wait, so P, Q, then R, then S, P, then R, and then S, Q, then P? Right?
Or is it
Yeah.
Wait, it'd be SQP?
Keep shush.
Yeah, write it down please, yeah.
PQR.
PQR.
Alright,
Okay.
So 90-degree corner, fourth side. 90-degree corner, SPR. And
SPQR?
then SQP. Or yeah, SQP.
Okay, now
Yeah.
now
Nope.
we're
Jerks. Blame you.
Jerks.
There you go.
Whoa.
Whoa.
I put QPR, PQS, PSR.
Okay, QPR. P what?
P, oh yeah. QPR, PQS, and then PSR.
Yeah, you have to change this your middle one. You
Why?
have to go
Why?
QSP to make them match up the same corners.
QSP, I put PQS, same thing.
But they don't match up to the right corners, remember.
How does
Remember,
S
when
match
you
up
talk
with
about
B?
similar or congruent, you
You
gotta
said it
match them up to
doesn't
the
matter.
right corners.
I want to listen to the audio.
So, P right here is on the 90-degree corner on my big triangle, right?
Okay.
That means if I'm gonna look at my middle triangle, I gotta start here with this corner S for the middle, because that's my 90-degree corner. And if I'm gonna look at my small one, I also have to start with corner S, because that's my 90-degree corner right there.
Did I do
Remember, you
that?
gotta match up the same corners.
Okay.
So what's the right answer?
There's like 3 different versions. I'm not writing them all.
Well, how
Go
come?
You
how-
just messed up on the one.
Go
One in the middle. That's all you messed
no,
up
I
on.
need to understand this.
Okay, okay. Okay, you did Q.
Gotta go.
PQR,
Alright, but I'm going over here.
PSR.
I
I put I PQ and then my PS and
Yeah.
PSQ.
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Did they do
You
the
just gotta make
same?
sure you match them up right. Just, I'm not checking everybody's.
Are you gonna check on the homework?
Yeah, I'm not grade them, but not in class.
I missed the whole.
You really need to focus there. Okay, that was just a little piece. I didn't mean that to take so long.
Double Goki.
Again, I'm blaming all of you. Totally not my
I
fault.
was looking at your
You're the teacher. You're the teacher.
You know,
For that.
I want to
Okay,
watch Pacific
So
Rim.
this next part, we're going to just learn how to do, then we're going to actually use it for triangles. So we're going to look at the geometric mean. Does anybody know what just a regular mean is?
It's all everything added
I
up
thought he
and
said
What's
divided
that?
by how many things you added up.
That's right, yeah. So mean is another word for average.
Yeah, Miss P taught us that.
What the crap is that?
Wait, what?
What the crap is that?
So mean is another word for average. So you guys have looked at arithmetic means, I think it is, or possibly algebraic means. I forget the exact thing, but we're going to look at geometric means today. So if I have two numbers, A and B, the geometric mean is A over X equals X over B. So what are we
Wouldn't it be
talking about?
Y over B?
No.
Why wouldn't it be X?
Same X. Okay. All right.
AB equals 2x.
So if
Oh, okay,
I,
thank you.
oh dear. Okay.
The fish method.
So
No,
it's
no,
not quite.
no,
We're gonna have to
no.
cross multiply this. Let me see if I can explain it. If I had A over B
Equals
equals
X over X. Then
No, this isn't gonna explain it.
Goki.
Oh yeah, okay. So if I had A over B and I made a ratio, right? And I said that equals X over X. Remember this thing we do with proportions where I flip the diagonals?
Cross
You get A over X equals B over X?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that kind of thing.
Oh.
Oh, no, X over B. Okay. We're doing part of that. I'm not explaining it very well, but don't worry about it. It's just, it's not a big deal. Okay, if I can find the geometric mean of 6 and 15, what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill in 6 is going to go in for my X, 15 is going to go in for my Y, and I'm going to solve it. I probably should have looked this part up.
Which one's Y?
Oh. No, I'm sorry.
Do you mean
Guys are confusing
one's supposed to
me.
be
I'm
A
learning
and
all
one's
of
supposed
this
to be B?
Okay, let me back up. 6 is going to go in for A, 15 is going to go in for B.
Okay.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Thank you, Goki.
Okay.
Damn.
So A is going to be 6. I'm going to go 6 over X, and it's going to equal X over 15. Let me think.
You can do it, Goki.
I have to look it up to explain this better. If I multiply my 1,
Maybe we just shouldn't do this lesson.
We should not do
Yeah,
this
because you
lesson.
should just skip it.
No, it's not hard to solve.
No,
It's actually kind of easy. I'm just
No,
trying to
no.
think of how to explain it. But
No
all right,
need
we're
to call
going to
for
go through it. Okay.
drastic measures.
I'm going to solve this, right? I can't really do a fish method very well in this because I have 2 X's, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to cross multiply. We're going to cross multiply this. So cross multiply, and I'm going to get 6 times 15, and it's going to equal X times X. All right, let's 6 times 15,
90.
and it's going to equal what's X times X?
2x.
X
X to the second power.
You were so unsure.
X equals
Negative
45.
2X from. It's not 45.
2 and X together.
45.
It's not 45.
Ah.
All right, I get 90 equals X squared, right?
Square
I'm
root
going to get
it.
the X by itself and figure out what that X is.
Square
And
root.
we're going to have to square root, not divide by 2. Square root, which is this kind of fancy divide sign. So let me grab Desmos
So
here.
if you square root one side, you square root the other, and it's 9.4. X equals 9.4.
Give me two
My
decimals.
best-
All right, so let me get decimals right here.
9.2.
So we're going to plug square root of 90 in. So the square root button is here by ABC. And
90.
I'm just going to go 90.
A, B.
9.4.
And we're going to get 2 decimals, 9.49.
9.49.
9.49. Give me 2 decimal places. And I'm rounding this 8 up because it's 0.486. I'm rounding it to the second. 0.49. 9.49.
Then you would round out up
So
to
geometric mean is, where am I at? Right here. I get X equals 9.49.
Wait, Goki, are you up to date with all your grades?
Not for this class, I'm a few days behind.
Anyway.
Everybody else is fine, but not you guys.
Goki, I need to know this by tomorrow. Or, yeah,
Oh.
I'm supposed to know it by today.
I can try to get them done after class.
Well, I don't have them in, so don't put them in.
Oh my god, I still didn't do any of the
So-
homework from this class yet.
Alright, let's try another one real quick. Let's find the geometric mean of 24
bad.
and 6.
Oh my god.
So, I'm going to say 24 is A, 6 is B, 24 over X equals X over 6. And we're going to solve them basically the same ways. We're going to cross multiply.
12. X equals 12.
I'm going to get there. We're going to cross multiply. I'm going to go 24 times 6 equals X times X. 24 times 6 is, 24 times 2 is 48.
144.
Oh.
And that's going to equal X squared. And then we got to square root it to get the X by itself.
Do you think next year, since all the seniors are graduating, they won't be able to win against?
And we're going to get X equals square root of 144
Volleyball?
plus 12. Find geometric mean. Alright, you guys try one on your own?
Sure.
Alright, I'm not hearing a no. So, I want you to find the geometric mean
All those big
of
players.
15 and 50.
27.
While you're doing that, I'll look it up so I can explain it better, because I forgot.
They're not, those are like the only main players that actually played like the whole game.
And like if we probably like if we don't, we'll probably. What?
So, I want you to find the geometric mean of 15 and 50.
Walk across the classroom.
Shut up.
Somebody's
And who's the teacher here?
She's just been in a movie.
Yeah. Don't yell at me.
I would get on this.
What's it
27.39.
I don't
Somebody
know.
not said we got food.
Actually, I left him on the scene.
No, I meant to go to shop, not hit me with that. Buy shit.
Way to take the bull by the horns, Chloe.
What did you do?
Or did you accidentally snap
What?
somebody?
Did I leave?
Yeah.
No, I'm still here.
No, did you leave the island?
Okay,
Oh no,
we
I'm
need
still
to
in the
stop.
island. I'm trying to think of
Right,
if
we
I,
need to play
if I should buy a bow.
Don't say that. Not out loud.
How much money? Oh, I have
Man,
to
we're gonna
download.
drink right quick.
Wait,
No.
Did she
go to
finally
cruise?
unblock? Come on, I'm done with this.
Go to cruise.
Oh,
No, it's
put it
not.
on the board then.
I did a while ago.
Do it on the
because
board
I
then.
told her to.
Okay, I don't think I got this right, but I'll do it.
And so since he told her that he
Oh,
did it.
oh, yeah, I see right here. Yeah, cruise.
After the second, you're gonna do.
Join.
No.
What?
Join.
No, I'm not on a cruise.
Mr. Gulks!
This game sucks.
Can I go to the bathroom?
That's cool. Come
After
Okay, I'll go
Tristan.
to Spain then. I'm coming.
Alright,
Bye.
so Trista's doing this geometric mean, and I was trying to look it up, and the textbook is not helpful, which is probably why I can't really explain it very well.
Good for you. Go.
Because I actually, so I'll be honest, I never took a geometry class until college. Because when I was in high school, it was weird. So I'd never done any of this until college. So geometry is maybe not my best subject. Not that I'm bad, I just,
So geometry is not useful at all.
no, it is. I just never took one until college. I don't know why.
But how do you, isn't it required?
They changed it.
Where's
When I was in
the
high school, it was different.
Alright, let me buy shit first.
I did like,
Can you sell them?
I did like algebra 1, 2, and 3, and then pre-calc, I
Yeah.
think.
It says 2000.
I don't really care what both of you. I'm scared by this.
Yeah, it
You're a
was
captain
different.
now. Yeah, I'm captain. Good for me. Set sail.
Alright, so just doing this one on the board.
Fine.
Looking pretty good so far.
2, 1. And I'm on the island.
Do we have a pre-calc class?
And go.
No, we've never had enough people interested in order to offer it.
Oh, wait, dude, what's this?
If we get enough people to offer it, we can do it.
How many people you need?
So the highest thing you can teach is algebra 2?
No, I can teach higher than that. I just there's never been enough people interested.
Ah.
So
How many would you need to be interested?
probably at least 6 or 7 at this point.
Are all your class periods filled up though?
Yeah, so we'd have to figure something out.
I would do it.
Okay.
JT,
Yeah.
You could not
You're gonna have to get your cut up.
Yeah, I'm not past that.
Okay, so I rounded it to this one, like the nearest one.
You've been collecting cards.
Don't you have it?
Yeah, I've been just collecting clams.
And diamonds.
Point
Diamonds.
no, 2 decimal places. Use 2 decimal places.
Oh, 2 decimal places?
Yeah.
She says I can
Yeah.
break that.
So on all this stuff today, if you get a decimal, give me 2 decimal places.
Alright.
Unless there's only 1 decimal, but
So would your mom talk to you about?
Mr. Gulks.
well,
Can I go to the bathroom after the lesson?
there's a line. I don't know who's first anymore.
Oh my god.
Don't blame me.
What?
Are you doing this first or what? You got it. It's good.
Oh, it didn't switch to pen, that's why I was like. So we're doing.
I think you're first.
I think it's Tristan.
3-9. When it be 3-9?
Oh
It would
gosh.
be.
Aha! I called
Oh, so
it.
weird looking
3-9. No snap.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
it would.
kinda
Alright,
glitched.
139. That's good.
When was this
Cool.
first? Everything else looked
Dude.
good though.
What the heck? How is this handwriting on there better than my handwriting on
Maybe you
here?
take time.
Hey, Goki, when was this? You're writing.
Probably because
I'm coming, Joseph. I'm almost there.
So I get it right?
Was it last week?
No, 2 weeks ago. Yep, 27.39. Alright, so we're actually going to use geometric mean.
Oh, I'm almost there.
Ryan,
I'm almost
Oh my
there.
I
god.
don't care, turn it off.
What a hater.
I am. I'm an absolute monster.
You're not a
I'm not
monster.
making you play games in class.
No,
Okay.
it's cool about that.
So,
It's just-
this is where geometric mean comes in handy. So, if I'm going to look at a triangle like I've looked at before, where I have an altitude that makes really 3 triangles, a big one, a middle, and a small,
Yawn.
we can actually relate the sides with geometric mean. So, the geometric mean of the longest side and the smaller piece of the longest side is the length of the longest side of the smallest triangle. So that's kind of confusing, so I'm going to try to take my time and explain it. So, if I look at this triangle over here, and I take the geometric mean of the longest side and the smaller piece of the longest side, so if I'm going to find the geometric mean of that, my longest side is AB, right? So AB over, I'm going to call it X, is going to equal X over the smaller piece of this side is AB. This X, when I do this, when I find it, X is going to be the exact same thing as the longest side of the smallest triangle. So it's going to be exactly the same thing as AC right there. So X will be AC. They kind of form an interesting relationship. If I'm going to do it with some actual numbers, what's my longest side on this set of shapes over here, this triangle? 10, right? Because I have 2 and 8 make 10. Okay. So if I find the geometric mean of 10 and the smallest piece of my longest side, which is 2, if I find that geometric mean, it is going to equal the longest side of the smallest triangle, which in this one is X. So I'm going to say 10 over X is going to equal X over 2. And we can solve our geometric mean. So let's see, 20 is going to equal X squared, right? I'm going to square root both sides, and I'm going to get X equals, I don't know what the square root of 20 is off the top of my head, 4 point something, 4.6 or something? What was it?
4.47.
I'll just trust you. Alright, X equals 4.47. So this side right here, I found by using my geometric mean, it's 4.47. Find out right there. That's
No,
it.
we're rounding to the second number.
Give me a second decimal place. Okay, so that was between the longest side and the smaller piece of the longest side. I can also look at the geometric mean of the longest side and and the bigger piece of the longest side. So if I look at the longest side and the bigger piece of the longest side, whatever that geometric mean is the length of the longest side of the middle triangle. So the longest side and the bigger piece of the longest side is that geometric mean is the longest side of the middle triangle. So if I'm going to look over here at my kind of generic shape, if I have the geometric mean of the longest side is AB, over, I'm going to call it Y, it's going to equal Y over the longest piece of the bigger side, or the bigger piece of the longer side. It would equal BB right here. Whatever Y is going to be the longest side of our middle triangle, which is CB in this. Which is kind of confusing, which is why I do it with actual numbers over here. So, in other words, if I find the geometric mean of my longest side is 10, and my bigger piece of that is 8, that will equal y. When I find that geometric mean. So x I already found right here was 4.47, right?
Freak.
You okay, Chloe?
I'm tired.
Uh-huh.
That voice is annoying.
So if I find this geometric mean, I will find what y is.
Especially after saying longest
Find out
side.
10 over
longest
y,
side,
rush,
longest side.
equals y over
I
8,
got so offended.
and we're going to solve this.
What?
We're going to go
No, not you.
80
No.
equals y squared. Alright, 2 decimals.
8.94.
8 point what?
4.
Alright, so we get y equals 8.94. So y equals 8.94. Alright, and then our last one. The geometric mean of each piece of the longest side is going to equal the altitude, which is the middle line, right in the middle here. So if I take each piece of the longest side, it's going to equal this altitude, which in this one is z. So if I'm going to look at my generic one, if I find the geometric mean of AD, and I'm going to call it z, that's going to equal z over dB. And z is going to be the altitude, which I'm going to abbreviate as alt, because I don't want to write the whole thing out.
Did I say DB?
Yes. And that's a
Dragon Ball.
That's a Z right there.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Next slide is a picture of Goku.
Very cool.
Don't
Oh.
worry about it. Don't worry about it.
From Dragon Ball Z Kai?
Oh, we're talking about like the old Dragon Ball.
Or Dragon
Or the originals.
Yeah, Dragon Ball. Yeah.
Alright, so to look at it on an actual triangle, I'm going to find the geometric mean of 2 and 8. So if I find the geometric mean of 2 and 8, that is going to equal the altitude, which in this one is that little piece in the middle, and z. So I'm going to go 2 over z is going to equal z over 8, and 16 equals z squared. Square root 8, we get 4 equals z. What?
I remember Miss Robinson's when we had letters for
But what?
Yeah, it learns
the square roots.
Find the value of x.
Yeah,
Dad.
good
Like the
stuff.
big chart and stuff.
We actually, when you guys were freshmen, we could have gone through and done square roots by hand.
No.
But I didn't want to do that, so
We had to do that in 8th grade.
Yeah, we did that like for so long in 8th grade.
it's good stuff though.
No, it's not.
Alright, you guys ready to try one? You want to try one together? Yeah, let's try one together.
Yeah.
Alright, we're going to find the value of each variable. So let's start with, if I take the whole thing
Yeah.
and the littlest piece, and I find the geometric mean of the longest side and the little piece, that is going to equal this piece right here. So the whole thing, the little piece,
So
is
that's
that
5?
piece. So the whole thing is 4. The little piece is 1. So
So you
geometric
write
mean of 4 and 1. And because I know it's going to equal this x, I'm going to use the x there. So 4 over x is going to equal x over 1. Let's see, 4
These
is going to
stupid
equal
papers.
x squared. And x is going to equal, I don't know, off the top of my head.
2?
I was thinking, what am I thinking something? Oh, I put the dot there. I thought it was, yeah. X is going to equal 2. What am I thinking that one?
Goals.
I was thinking it was going to be like a 2 point something. So I don't know. It's been a long day. You guys are judging me. Judges.
What is that about?
How about y?
Alright, so we found 1. Let's find z next. Z is the whole thing and the bigger piece here. It's going to equal z. And you guys can kind of look at it. If you look at the big side and the little piece, it equals this little piece. If you look at the big side and this piece, it equals this piece over here. You can kind of see how they're connected.
I have feeling z equals 6.
Yeah. Alright, so I'm going to have geometric mean of 4, and what is this middle piece right here?
3.
3. Oh, you guys got it. You'd be surprised how many people don't get that right away. Alright, geometric mean of 4 and 3. I'm gonna go 4 over z. It's gonna equal z over 3. Yeah, multiply them together, we get 12 equals z squared, which is gonna be 3 point, what is it, 2. Geometric mean of 12, or square root of 12, 3.46.
4-7.
No, 46. 46.464, so it stays down. So z equals 3.461. To find my altitude, I just take the left side and the right side. We can do a different color. So geometric mean of this piece and this piece equals our altitude. So geometric mean of 3 and 1 is going to equal z. Excuse me, y. We go 3 over y equals y over 1. And 3 equals y squared. This one's going to be like a 1 point something. Y is going to equal square root 3. 1.73. All right.
I might not do the homework. It's too slow.
It's not that bad, man. You guys want to do another one together? Or you want to do it in class?
Yes.
I'm clapped.
All right, do the one in the box. Find x and y. You only have to find 2 of them, so make sure you pick the right ones.
What do we do again?
You just lick your pencil.
No.
Ooh.
Oh, I need something stronger. I smell alcohol sauce.
You have to throw up just
I'm good
Does it?
now.
Isn't there some in Miss Kangaroo? Or in that?
Wait, shit. All right, find x and y, and have somebody do it on the board for us. So make sure you do it.
Wait, what?
Somebody random.
Chloe, you're in such a mood right now.
Always in such a mood.
Actually, yesterday.
What'd you get for extra?
Is it because you're going through withdrawal?
I don't know yet. I'm still
She's going through withdrawal.
looking.
You're stupid.
It does crazy things to the mind.
What's 9 times
What
4
withdrawal?
again?
She's gonna. You're stupid, just hate you.
What's 36 square root?
I'm tired.
This isn't really you talking.
I don't feel good. I just want to go home.
6? Wow, 6 equals x.
I want the real Chloe back.
I feel like I'm gonna puke over your face.
Thanks.
There's like 3 people ahead of you.
I think
Oh, no,
you need to
wait,
just roast
yeah.
somebody.
Yep.
All right, but actually, Mick. All right, what do you want to find, x or y?
I will
What'd you say?
find
I
y.
said I feel
Alright,
like you just
how you
need to
gonna
roast
find y?
somebody, and then you'll be good.
4 is the numerator, y is the denominator, equals y over 5.
So geometric mean of 4 and 5, and we get y. So when I want this piece in the middle, I gotta look at both of these pieces. So we get 20 equals y squared, and we square root it. We're gonna get 4 point something.
Yawn.
What do you get, Mick?
4-7.
I'll trust you this time. Alright, we get 4.47. Alright, for the next one, we gotta find x. Trista, how do we find it?
I have no idea. I was really hoping somebody else
Here
would
you
do
go,
it.
Trista,
that's-
got you.
No, no.
Wait.
Alright, we're gonna look at it. We're gonna find x over here, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
Is it
If-
4 and X?
No,
No.
You're close.
it's 9 and 4.
Okay. If we're not finding
yeah.
this piece in the
Is
middle,
it equal
we're always
to-
gonna have the biggest side,
Wait. I thought
Which
you.
is-
Oh,
which
I
is-
thought. Hey, Mr. Gold.
not quite 9. 9 and
4.
4. The
Wait.
piece it's attached to.
Okay.
Mm.
How is that
So
right?
maybe this will be bigger. Or maybe this will be a better way to phrase it. So if I'm not finding the altitude, I'm not finding this. If I want to find one of these sides, I take the geometric mean of the biggest and the piece it's attached to. So this side I want to find, it's attached to the 4, right? So geometric mean of everything is 9 and the 4. So I'm going to find the geometric mean of 4 and 9. So what's that going to look like? Just a...
No, I lost
I would gonna
everything.
be 4 over X and then 9 over it. Or X over 9.
X over 9, there we go. So we cross multiply, we get 36 equals x squared. We square root it, what do we get?
I don't know.
6.
You're 36? Some of these square roots you should really have memorized.
It's 6.
It's 6. 6 is next.
I never learned all
Like the
these.
the
The
ones
only one-
without decimals you should probably memorize because you see them a lot.
I know this one just because 6 times 6 is 36. I don't know. That's just like
yeah,
a rhyme that I
that's
have
that's
in
the way
my
you can do it because then you can work backwards in the square.
Yeah,
Tatiana.
I never did that.
They had this song back in elementary.
I did the Bible.
6 times 6
Okay.
is 36.
Happy to man. All right, so that's it. So start on your exit ticket. If you haven't yet, I'm gonna put it on the board.
Wait,
or on
Goki, I
spread
wasn't finished. Right now, down.
You did it. We did it together.
Yeah, I know,
The
but
goals.
how was it finished?
Yeah, it's
No,
because she was making
wrong one.
fun of me.